Jenna Bosonko, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. And now here are the main local and sports news headlines. The Vice President has encouraged the Lands Minister to put up a 2 to 3 year embargo on foreign private estate development in the Gambia to allow the country to reassess its land policy. The 2022 first ordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament opened in Abuja, Nigeria on Thursday, during which parliamentarians discussed issues concerning governance on constitutional change of government, amongst others. Over $19 million has been presented to individual members and selected associations of the tourism industry as part of European Union COVID-19 project. Following a fire incident that burnt down the Basse market in 2020, a regional reporter went around the newly rebuilt market to investigate why businesses are still not insuring their business against risk. In sports news, Gambia's queen of the track, Gina Bass, is now Africa's track queen following her triumph in the 100 meters at the African Athletics Championship. In football, Congo defeated Gambia 1-0 in their second Group G AFCON 2023 qualifier in Brazzaville on Wednesday. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, at the opening of the Gambia government's maiden 2022 cabinet retreat on Wednesday, the Vice President encouraged the Lands Minister to put up a 2 to 3 year embargo on foreign private estate development in the Gambia to allow the country to reassess its land policy to allocate 90 to 95% of lands for Gambians. Mamadou Lamin Choi has more.
The new cabinet is on a 2-day retreat to devise an action plan on the most pressing issues affecting the country. One of them, the growing list of land issues that are never out of the headlines for long. This is not lost on the new cabinet. The Vice President, Dr. Ali Bazara Juf, revealed his concerns over land problems in the real estate sector at the opening of the retreat.
If we commercialize this land, our families, the future generation, where would they live? Especially when you give it to foreign private estate developers who make millions, repatriate the money, then there's capital flight. And then we are denuded of land for our families. No, that is wrong.
The Vice President Juf makes a statement that seems to be pointing towards a potential policy direction for government to reassess the country's land policies on foreign private estate developers.
And I would encourage the minister to impose at least an embargo for the next 2 to 3 years on foreign estate land development. Reassess the land policy, and see how we can give at least 90 to 95% of the land to Gambians.
Abubakar Bibi Dabo is a real estate consultant who, via a telephone interview with QTV, described the Vice President's pronouncement on foreign private real estate developers as long overdue and a delightful one.
If you look at the business and the industry right now, you will understand that it is the most engaged business in this country, and they are dealing with one of the most expensive commodity ever in the Gambia, because Gambia has no natural resources more than a flat land. So if this pronouncement will come to existence, they will apply this, I think it is fantastic.
The real estate industry has grown rapidly in the Gambia, with more than 100 real estate companies operating in the country, according to the Association of Real Estate Companies. However, the industry is operating without any government regulations. The Land Ministry is responsible for this industry, and its new minister, Sharif Abbasanyang, acknowledges the lack of regulation and monitoring of the real estate industry.
The nature of land they acquire at any given time need to be thoroughly monitored. This is one thing we are lacking as a country. We don't monitor, we don't manage, we don't even enter or register our lands. And having this type of a problem, it makes people go helter-helter in land grabbing and in land use. That is not going to help the country. We need to be by the land uses. Land that is going to be used by agriculture, we respect that. Land that is going to be industrial, we respect it. Land that is going to be used for accommodation or residential, we respect it. But we don't. We just use land arbitrarily for our own comforts. That is not going to happen.
A 2020 study by the Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission on the state of consumer welfare in the real estate industry, among other recommendations, calls on the Ministry of Lands and Local Government to ensure the real estate sector is stringently regulated to make it more consumer-oriented, economically vibrant, and financially beneficial to stakeholders. Mohamed Lamin Chai, QTV News.
The 2022 first ordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament opened in Abuja, Nigeria on Thursday, during which parliamentarians will discuss, among other matters, the draft community regulations emanating from the ECOWAS Commission, examine community strategies targeted at improving governance, address issues of unconstitutional change of government, and propose solutions towards democratic consolidation in the sub-region. Aliou Cisse has more from Abuja.
ECOWAS parliamentarians are in Abuja, the federal capital of Nigeria, the headquarters of the ECOWAS Parliament, for the 2022 first ordinary session, which is scheduled to run from 9 June to 2 July. A highlight of this 2022 first ordinary session is the presentation of the State of the Community report by the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassibro, in accordance with the powers of the Parliament. Members are expected to deliberate several topics and express opinion on referrals. In his welcome statement, Sidi Mohamed Tunis, Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, described the session as another milestone in the parliamentary functions of the Community Parliament. He thanked members for their support and commitment to the work of the parliamentary assignments, reminding them that they are expected to act in accordance with the wishes of the people to ensure the socio-economic and security challenges facing the sub-region are addressed.
The exercise of our competence has become increasingly important, especially in the wake of regional and global political and security situation. Furthermore, the COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with the ongoing Russia military operation in Ukraine, have resulted in global economic slowdown, soaring food and energy costs, and strain on government resources that are having far-reaching consequences on the region and the world. The onus is therefore upon us to support policies that address these day-to-day issues.
While congratulating the Gambia for successful organization of its parliamentary election, Speaker Tunis advocated the same for Nigeria, Liberia, and Sierra Leone as they prepare to vote in presidential elections in 2023. Finda Kuruma, Vice President of ECOWAS Commission, gave assurances that the Commission will continue to engage the military in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso for a smooth democratic transition. She also commended the President of Nigeria for his support to the ECOWAS Commission. Addressing the session at the invitation of the ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta, the Speaker of the Gambia's National Assembly, preached a unity of purpose for the stability and development of the sub-region. As a former member of the ECOWAS Parliament, Speaker Jatta assured the ECOWAS Parliament of the Gambia's support in its functions. He joined the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament in expressing support for having ECOWAS parliamentarians directly elected by the people, rather than from national assemblies.
For this Parliament to assume legislative functions and perform effective oversight on ECOWAS institutions and hold them accountable, its membership must be elected through universal adult suffrage by citizens of member states. I therefore urge that more efforts be directed into making this a reality.
Beribe Ouattara, Vice President ECOWAS Court of Justice, said the court is grappling with a lot of challenges, including the rejection of court rulings by member states, which is impeding the mandate of the sub-regional major judicial institution. Several other speakers, including Femi Bajabiya Mila, the Speaker of the Nigeria House of Representatives, applauded the ECOWAS Parliament for its great work. Speakers strongly condemned the terrorist attacks and kidnapping in the sub-region. They called for joint efforts to ensure a safe and secure region for progress and development. The opening ceremony also witnessed the swearing-in of the two parliamentarians to the Gambia's delegation, Honorable Bilaji Tunkara and Honorable Alaji S. Dabo, replacing Honorable Matar Jeng and Honorable Mohamed Magazi. Reporting for QTV News from Abuja in Nigeria, I am Aliou Cisse.
Aliou Cisse there in Abuja, Nigeria, the ECOWAS Parliament. Now, the Gambia Red Cross Society The Gambia Red Cross Society, yes, in collaboration with the Spanish Red Cross, on Thursday presented over $19 million to individual members and selected association of the tourism industry as part of European Union COVID-19 project. Omar Pijalo has the rest of that story.
The $19,435 COVID-19 relief is for 415 individuals and 8 selected associations of the tourism industry. The individuals will each receive $37,000 to either restart or diversify their businesses. The 8 selected associations, namely the National Tour Guides, the Craft Markets Federation, the Hairdressers Association, the Birdwatchers Association, the Fruit Sellers Association, the Juice Pressers and Boat Owners Association of Denton Bridge, will each receive $510,000 to rebuild or renovate their business structures left dilapidated by the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Jatro Silla, the president of the Gambia Red Cross Society, reveals that the aim of the assistance is to improve the socio-economic situation of members of the tourism informal sector.
It is in this context that the Gambia Red Cross Society, with technical support from Spanish Red Cross, designed this project to assist the vulnerable association members to develop resilience and build back their lives.
Carla Sala, the project manager Spanish Red Cross, says a study have revealed that most sectors of the economy saw some degree of recovery, but the informal tourism sector remains stagnant, adding that recovery is crucial to provide sustainability and resilience in confronting any other unexpected event.
The livelihood component started from a needs assessment where these associations were identified as the most affected groups within the tourism sector.
Raymond Mosa, the ITC representative in the Gambia, described the project as relevant, considering how the tourism sector was affected by the COVID-19, and thanked the Gambia government for their technical guidance.
We do believe that this is a very important, timely response. We are absolutely confident that it will also help you with your individual businesses and livelihoods.
Alassane Senghor, the Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross Society, said the GRCS is committed to delivering humanitarian assistance to improve the quality of life and well-being of people.
The world is confronted by what we call the 4 C's. It's COVID-19, climate change, the Ukraine conflict. The 4th one is cost, which we are all confronted with, the rising cost of living. The only way we can deal with some of these challenges that we are faced with is by working together.
Corrado Pampaloni, the EU ambassador to the Gambia, said the EU outlined this program of assistance to help the tourism sector rebuild its infrastructure, which is seriously affected by the downslow in tourist arrivals, and enable members to restart or diversify their activities.
The Cash and Vouchers Assistance Program addresses the most affected communities to protect them against the impact of COVID-19.
The Minister of Tourism and Culture, Hamad N.K. Bar, thanked the EU and other partners for extending assistance to the informal tourism sector in the form of business training and cash grants.
We want you to use this money judiciously. We want you not to use this money for asobis, but to use this money to prepare yourself for the coming season.
Jibril Sanyang, the president of the Craft Markets Federation, spoke on behalf of the beneficiaries and assured those assembled of the judicious use of the funds. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar Pijalo.
It's good to know that there's some form of recovery. Now, from that story by Omar Pijalo, we'll go for a short break. And when we come back, we have some more local news stories for you, as well as sports. Do stay tuned.
For his kitchen, Prosper was thinking big. He therefore chose big new tiles. He then thought he'd also love a new stainless steel sink and a new mixer app. And now that we're changing the sink, we might as well buy a new kitchen counter, right?
Oh yeah, I couldn't resist.
Good old Prosper.
And yes, that's Batimat's Bati Days. Take advantage of exceptional discounts up to 70% on several products families. From June 11th to 25th, you will be splurging. Batimat, everything for construction, from foundation to finishing.
Welcome back from that commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, following a fire incident that burned down the Basse market in 2020, a regional reporter went round the newly rebuilt market to investigate why businesses are not insuring their businesses against risks. There had been shock when, after the Basse fire fire, only one business had an insurance policy. Alaji F. Jallo has the rest of that.
Business needs business insurance because it helps cover the costs associated with property damage and liability claims. Without business insurance, business owners may have to pay out of their pockets for costly damages and legal claims against their company. As part of the week-long celebration of insurance, we visited businesses and establishments to gauge people's understanding of insurance and the need to insure. We visited the newly constructed Basse market that was ravaged by a fire in February 2020. One of the victims of the last inferno, Alaji Mane, said he is totally ignorant about insurance and its operations. He added that he has never been approached for such since I started business.
Insurance can find more like on dal. Because insurance can find any moment catch our money for a man and the palace of the can catch.
I have not once been approached by anyone from insurance companies. I don't understand anything about insurance. I can't take any cover without knowing the reason for paying these premiums. Everything depends on discussion. Well, if I am convinced, I may think of insurance cover this time. A Nigerian mobile parts dealer, Chinedu, explains the difficulties he endured from the last devastating inferno that completely destroyed the market. He said with his new establishment, he is now prepared to take up insurance cover.
Although after the market burn, it was not easy because people around started to increase their shop length from what they are paying before. But thank God now, the way God Allah have make it, the government have done with our project for the new market. Although I know I have to insurance my business, but I was not prepared before the market burn. So the market get burn also, things getting hard. So I postpone it. But by grace of God, I is trying to put some things together. If I settle down, then I can come and insure.
A Nigerian national, also a victim of the Basse market disaster, was the only beneficiary from insurance compensation. Mr. Zubis said he took insurance policy as a backup against uncertainties. He added that GNIC came to his aid when he had lost hope.
What made me to insure my business is I'm an international businessman. I duly travels to Europe or Dubai. So I see that I'm insuring myself when I'm traveling. Sometimes 6 months, 3 months. So it come on my mind that I should insure my business. My insurance, they tried a lot. The Gambia National Insurance Company, they tried a lot with me because that time I have a fire outbreak. I was confused, but they come on my knees. They come to my knees and they help me a lot.
Insurance is a form of risk management primarily used to hedge against the risk of potential financial loss. It is important for protecting your business in case disaster strikes. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alaji F. Jallo.
Interesting. Now, fish smokers at the Tanje fishing village are complaining about the lack of facilities to dry their fish during the rainy season and other challenges faced. They call for support to help alleviate the problems they encounter during the rainy season. Adibintu Drame has more.
As the rainy season starts, for some it is joyous and for many others it brings misery. These fish smokers at the Tanje village bemoan the lack of a permanent facility to dry fish during the rainy season. They are happiest when the sun shines and they have good weather to dry. They use nets or cheesecloths spread on a table outside to dry their fish, either salted or smoked for preservation. Alaji Kamara, a fish smoker, explains.
It
We need support to have a specific fish smokers market. We don't have anywhere to sell. We sell where we smoke the fish. We started this place. Previously, Nigerians, Ghanaians, and Sierra Leoneans were here doing fish smoking. Now, you only find a few because of the challenges. Now, mostly women are the ones doing this job, and it is very challenging. Also, access to firewood is difficult.
Mama Mane explains some of the challenges. When we peel the fish, we use baskets, put ample salt in it and put the fish into it. Again, pour another ample amount of salt over the fish. After a day, we pour water in it and take the fish. Sometimes we use lime and salt on the dried fish. If we don't do that during rainy season, we will lose profit. The place gets inundated with murky water, and the furnace outside, which has no cover or roof, seems useless when it rains. Safi Mane, also a fish smoker, states that a lack of fish is among the challenges faced, as business is now quite slow. She further explains. When the rainy season starts, it is difficult for us. Even today, all our fish that we are drying are soaked wet, so I will peel them and dry them because it gets soaked. It will have worms and get spoiled. I am pleading with the government or anyone who can support us. Flooding, extreme weather conditions, frequent dry spells in rainy seasons, and pollution are some of the consequences to contend with for those processing of smoked fish. And fish remains the mostly widely consumed protein in the Gambia. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Unfortunate from that story by Ajibintu Drame. Let's now take a look at what is happening in the world of sports. Exciting one, as Gambia's Queen of the Track is now Africa's Queen of the Track after Gina Bass triumphed in winning the women's 100-meter final at the African Athletics Championship on Thursday. Our sports reporter Mamudu Gajaga watched the race and he now reports.
Gina Bass seems unstoppable on the African continent. The Gambian sprinter won the women's 100 meters final in a time of 11.6 seconds at the ongoing African Athletics Championship in Mauritius. She finished edge out Aminata Seni Mumini just as they reached the finish line, setting not only a personal best but a national record. In winning, Gina Bass has added another accolade to the gold medal she won in the 2019 at the African Games in Rabat, Morocco. She has been to several indoor and outdoor championships this year in France, Poland and Spain, seemingly in readiness for this moment. After the race, she told reporters how she felt. "I am happy to win the race. When I look at my time yesterday, I knew I could win today. I think this race would better prepare me for the World Championships. Gina Bass will round off her championship with a run in the women's 200 meters heats on Saturday and the women's 4x100 meters final. The African Athletics Championship ends on Sunday." Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Now, congratulations to Africa's track queen. I'm afraid that is all we have time for. Join us at 10 p.m. for more news. Thanks for watching and have a good evening.